Today is World Tourism Day, a day that is aimed at appreciating and repositioning tourism as a major catalyst in economic development and growth. And the official celebrations will be held in Hungary, in Budapest, and of course with celebrations all over the world. And speaking of which, my colleague Leanne is in the Eastern Cape in Umtata, which is actually a melting pot of flora and fauna and the beautiful scenery. And she's standing by with the CEO of Tourism South Africa. Very good morning to you again, Leanne. It's over to you.
Sipiwe, thank you very, very much. Yes, indeed, exactly what you're saying. That's where we are. And we've moved down from an aerial shot. We're getting closer to the dam's edge. In fact, we'll go down there in a short while in our next crossing to you. And it's quite incredible, this weather. It goes from clear to cloudy to clear. So we're back on clear. And when I arrived in the Eastern Cape, and let me tell you, Caesar was standing at the airport when I arrived. It was freezing. And thankfully, for the incredible wonderful stands and local products that are on sale at the airport, I was able to find myself a Basotho blanket and put it on and wear it this morning, which is the joy of tourism. Anyway, good to see you. I thought that was quite a nice way to introduce our next interview. SA Tourism Season, Shana, always so nice to have you with us on the show.
Cool. Thank you for having us over. I mean, absolute pleasure. I think we've ordered some good weather for you.
Yeah.
The environment is absolutely awesome. And I think the Eastern Cape has really brought itself out today.
Yeah, it has. And I mean, I want to talk a little bit about tourism and what it does for people, because I was sitting at a table upstairs and somebody said, like, why do we make such a big deal of tourism? I mean, what is really... Give me a break. And it actually made me cross, because this is why we make a big deal of tourism. You empower people, you show people what you're all about, you enhance the culture, and you make jobs. I mean, talk to me more about the power of tourism.
I mean, it's absolutely awesome. It touches on every single sector that you can think of, right from construction to forex and everything else there. I mean, just to give you a sense that most small businesses struggle to have access to markets. They want to get their stuff overseas. Tourism actually brings overseas to their doorstep. And I think that's the beauty of it, that we can actually get the economy going again. Obviously would have heard from the president, a stimulus package, that tourism is front and center in terms of really driving that growth. And I'm more than confident that we actually double the number of arrivals within the space in the next couple of years as well.
Yeah. Which is very, very important, because we need to get those numbers up, and we need to just remind me, I mean, and I've got the minister, I've actually just seen him arriving now as well. For every tourist, how much money are we making off of them?
Well, just to give it a sense from a jobs perspective, for every one tourist, you're going to get for every 8 tourists, you get 1 job basically coming through on that side. And I think that's what we want to drive through, basically through that side as well. It contributes 3% to our GDP. We want to see that rise quite substantially. And, now that we've got a proper, deliberate focus on tourism, we actually start to bring through the other provinces as well. And not just with the big 3 or big 4, but we've got 9 beautiful provinces, all offering different characteristics, and we want to make sure that we bring them on board as well.
Yeah. All right, let's talk Shot Left Week, because that's a big thing as well. As much as in the previous hour I was talking about, we want to try and get the international visitors to come in here, and there's no reason why they shouldn't, especially with our currency at the unfortunate levels that it's at. But it's also an excuse for South Africans to travel in South Africa and use our rand. That's where Shot Left comes into us. Talk about it.
Absolutely. Domestic tourism is such a big focus for us. We want South Africans to explore, to actually get to know their country. And we've also listened. The top 3 reasons why people don't travel: 1 is affordability, 2nd one is access to information, and the 3rd one is safety and security. So on the affordability part, we really said, well, let's have a Black Friday week equivalent just on travel. And from this week on the 24th to the 31st is that when that's there. So go to the Short Left website, www.shotleft.co.za, short without the R, right? And in there you'll find a plethora of deals that are there, whether you're 1-star backpacker or 5-star Uber luxury, there's something for everyone. I think that's the beauty. So please go there, get traveling, get to know your country.
And there's also a competition that you're running. I'm reading a little bit about it. It's called the Share Your World of Tourism competition, where someone could win a Shot Left experience. All about hashtags, I do tourism. Talk to me about this competition.
Well, we live in a world of social media, and the cool people in the office tell me that FOMO is a big thing, right?
It is.
So we actually want people to share their stories, to actually personalize, all their travel anecdotes, and then we'll choose the best one of that one, really kind of make them them the top of the pile. And maybe if they're nice to me, the office, I might accompany those people as well.
Maybe if you're nice, they'll let you accompany them. I think that's going to be absolutely amazing. September really is a month to explore South Africa, and the opportunities are there. And we saw Sandparks Week, where there was entrance free for South African citizens to go in there. What other kind of promotions are there? I mean, how do we get South Africans, because it is expensive, even though we try and promote tourism in South Africa, it is expensive for South Africans to travel in South Africa as well.
Absolutely. We've got to understand there's different modes of traveling, right? You can go by taxi, by bus, by car, by airplane, and it's about finding that right zone. What I would encourage people to do is that you don't need to go far. Start in your own environment, right? Start with a day trip to the dam like this and back. And I think that's what you start to inculcate. What's important for us as well, we want to, almost engender the culture of travel, in our children very early enough. So we're starting to reach out to schools and to see them actually do a lot of more domestic road trips and school exertions, because what we've seen so far is that some schools go overseas and say, well, no problem, go overseas, but just start here first. Then you can start to build up on that side. Then we also want to encourage entrepreneurs, people who are actually looking at this sector and say, well, there actually is no product or accommodation or experience that talks to a target audience. They must come in and they must also invest and actually start to address those market failures that are there.
Yeah. And one thing that we do know is it is economically tough times for South Africans as well. And you say there are ranges, whether you want to do the camping to the 5-star luxury, they are available. But if we look at domestic travel figures, how are we doing? How do they look currently?
So there's two parts. The fact that we actually have one of the world's largest income inequalities countries in the world basically really comes to the fore. The few that are traveling are actually traveling more. It is a vast majority that is actually not traveling. And I think that's what we're trying to tease out now, in our campaigns, to really appeal to the young, to the millennials as well, to actually start to travel from that perspective. It is tough, we know that, and there's typically an inverse relationship between the rand and domestic tourism, basically. So when the rand is weak, it's more attractive for internationals to come in, but when the rand is stronger, it bodes quite nicely for domestic to actually start to come through that side. But we've got to continue showcasing different places, and there are some hidden gems out there. There are some really value for money hidden gems, but that's a problem, they're hidden. So we really want to bring them to the fore so people can make informed decisions and choices as to where they can travel to.
There's nothing better than traveling in your own country, and when you come back from holiday, getting that sense of pride and saying, wow, yeah, this is my country. I mean, you feel that every time you land in a new airport, you travel on the roads of a different province, and it's phenomenal. It really is. Well, listen, good luck with all of these campaigns. Today, a big day planned for you?
Absolutely. It's a World Tourism Day, and this year Eastern Cape is the host. So it's really about paying homage to the day itself, talking more about the impact of tourism so that people understand its impact on jobs, on economy, on the society as well, and also spreading proudly, basically, the local heritage and culture. The provinces don't have to look the same. They mustn't mimic what's there, but it's about bringing them what they're authentic about, its food, its flavors, its dance and everything else. Because travel nowadays is about immersion. People want to feel part and parcel of it. And I think, today's going to be a great day.
I think it is. And I have another request to you, and I requested it to you off air. Please dress like this all the time. Please wear the beads all the time. Between you and the MEC, I've been convinced this is not just something you wear on Tourism Day. This should be your look all the time. It looks amazing. And chicks dig it.
Much appreciated. I'm going to Parliament next week, so I'll probably don't.
You better. I want to see you there. Thank you so much, Caesar. You look amazing. Thanks so much for talking to us. SA Tourism, Caesar Nchana, talking to us about the Shot Left campaign, travel locally and looking really, really good while he does that. So stay tuned. After the break, we have got our Minister of Tourism, Derek Honeycomb.